Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday morning. Welcome to our Monday morning assembly. It's the 1st of February today. Welcome to all of you children at home who are doing your home learning, and welcome to all the children that we have in school as well. Now, what I want to think about first of all today is remembering those 10 top tips for learning that we talked about in last week's Monday morning assembly. So hopefully all those children at home, you are up, ready, teeth brushed, had a wash, maybe got dressed, and you're sat now ready to learn. And this is your Monday morning assembly, so it's the start of a week. Now, lots of you will also be sat there maybe with new exercise books that you picked up last week from school and a new pencil as well. So that's something to look forward to this week. You've got a brand new book to use in your maths and any lessons that you use for writing as well. So that's a really, really good start to the week. Don't forget about those other top tips. Make sure you get plenty of breaks from screens this week. Go get some fresh air, go up to your bedroom, just take those little breaks, get drinks of water, have a snack, and just something just to break it up a little bit. Also, the other things about on your live lessons this week, remembering to take part, be active, and try your best and present your work as well as you can. And if you can remember some other top tips as well, then make sure you keep those fresh in your mind this week as you're doing it. Lots of things to look forward to this week. You've got your live lessons, as you know about. You've got 2 of those each this week. Plus, some of you might have a live music lesson as well. And also, you might have a social discussion lesson, which has been planned in, which is just a chance for you and your class to have a little bit of a chat while your teacher's there, and so you can enjoy hearing and seeing your friends. Now, if you've not got one of those this week, don't worry. Over the next couple of weeks, we will get one of those planned in for you, so look forward to that. Really important this week, as lots of you have been doing, that you continue to send your work through. Take a picture of it, email it to your teacher so that we can see how you're getting on. Usually at school, we'll be able to mark your books, we'll be able to ask you questions in lessons. It's more difficult at the moment, but it's still just as important that we know you're making progress and know that you're all working from home. And we know that's tough, but it's still important that we do check that. This week, you'll have noticed on your timetable that you've got a lesson, at least one lesson, which talks about mental health and looking after your own mind. And that's because this week it's Children's Mental Health Week, and it couldn't have come at a better time. So important, like we talked about last week, to look after how you're feeling and to make sure that you know how to have those times when you can relax and calm and be calm and just look after your mind so that you're feeling good and feeling fresh and feeling good about yourself. So this week, I'm going to share some top tips from Gemma, who's one of the CAMS workers in Wakefield. And she's going to talk you through some techniques and things that you can do to make yourself feel good, make yourself feel healthy in your mind. And in a second, I'm going to hand over to Gemma. One thing you have been doing to stay connected to school, and that's a great way of feeling good, is you have been sending lots of your rainbow handprints as well. So thank you for that. And that just makes us feel good at school, the little wave that you've given us. And hopefully it's made you feel good and connected to school as well. Later today, I'm going to be sending out this week's newsletter. And on there, I've put lots of your rainbow handprints. And I apologise that I couldn't fit them all on, but I've just put a small selection. If yours wasn't on there, it has been seen by your teacher and it has been seen by me. And thank you so much for doing that. And thank you to parents for taking the time to do that as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand over to Gemma at CAMS, and she's going to talk you through all those techniques that you can use to look after yourself this week. So have a great week and look after yourself, everybody. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi there everybody, my name's Gemma and I work for Wakefield CAMS. Some of you may have met me in school and some of you might not have, but I'm here today to help you learn how to keep calm. We always start our sessions by reminding ourselves that no feelings are wrong. They're like our favourite colours. We can have all different ones and they can be different to other people at different times. You might remember that I or other grown-ups have spoken to you about how sometimes our worry can help us to keep safe, but sometimes we overuse it and we go into what we call our fight and flight response when we don't really need to. We might notice different things happening to our body when we have feelings such as anger or sadness or worry. And we might pay less attention when we have those positive emotions, so when we're excited or when we're feeling happy. What we need to remember is that no feelings are wrong and that it's normal to have different feelings at different times. So maybe now pause the presentation and have a discussion with the grown-up that you're with, or if you're with other children in class, think about how you're feeling now. What might be triggering that feeling? And have you had any of those different feelings that I've mentioned at any point already today? So why do we think being calm is so important? When we're relaxed, we become more aware and more mindful. It helps us to be in the present moment rather than overthinking about what's happened before or what might happen in the future. It helps us to be more resilient and release our inner superhero like the children you can see on the picture. It gives us time to learn, and it helps us to get a better night's sleep and look after our bodies in the best way possible. It makes us feel good about ourselves and enhances our self-esteem, and it means we can tackle tricky feelings in a more rational way. It helps us to be more focused and more able to concentrate. Overall, it helps us to be our best kind of superhero. That's why keeping calm is important. For now, I'd like us to think about what relaxation looks like. How do we know when we're feeling truly calm and truly relaxed? Have a think. What might you notice and what might other people notice about you when you're feeling relaxed? You might want to pause the presentation to have a conversation with somebody about that if you can. Some examples might be that you notice you're smiling, you notice that your breathing feels calmer, and you're more able to concentrate on learning or on things that you're doing at home or with friends. You might notice that you're kinder to other people and you're kinder to yourself. And you might notice that your body feels looser and that your mind is clearer, so you're much more able to focus on what's happening in the here and now. Other people might be able to see that you're able to concentrate more, you're engaged in conversation, you have more energy, you're less tense, you're less argumentative, you're sleeping a lot better, and you might be smiling more. Okay, now we've learned about what relaxation is and how important it is, we're going to practice a couple of relaxation techniques. For the rest of this assembly, we need to make sure that we're as comfy as we possibly can be. So we're either sat down or we're laying down somewhere comfortable. Have a nice big stretch, give your shoulders a little bit of a wriggle and pop your feet firmly on the ground and pop your hands either on the table or relaxed in your lap. When we're feeling worried or angry, our breathing becomes dysregulated, which means it might be going faster than normal, it might slow down, or it might feel like our breath is stronger or like we're losing our breath. One of the easiest, simplest things you can do to help you feel calm and help you feel relaxed is focus on relaxing your breathing. So for now, I'd like us to look at the present on the screen and we're going to practice a breathing technique together. So if you start in the bottom left-hand corner, you might want to put your finger towards where that is on the present and follow the arrows round. So we're going to work our way up the side of the present by breathing in for 4 counts. We're then going to hold our breath for 4 counts. We're then going to breathe out for 4 counts, so nice and slowly. And then we're going to rest for 4. So let's try that again. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're with somebody else, I'd like you to practice doing the relaxed breathing marathon. You might want to turn and face each other And remember what we've said about breathing in, holding, breathing out, and then resting. Each person now gets 30 seconds, and we're going to take it in turns to practice their best relaxed breathing. So now the first person is going to close their eyes and face their partner. I'll talk you through the relaxed breathing, and I would like the other person to observe what happens to their partner's body. So take a long breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'd like you to swap. So the observer, you're going to practice. So you now need to close your eyes, and then the other person is going to watch your relaxed breathing. If you're on your own, you can just practice this as we talk it through, and you can start to notice how does your body feel whilst you're doing this. So take a long breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did people feel when they were doing that? And maybe just have a conversation with each other about what you noticed happening to your partner's body. Maybe their shoulders seemed more relaxed. Maybe they weren't fidgeting as much. Maybe their face looked a little bit different. How did it feel to watch somebody else doing their relaxed breathing? Did it change the way that you did your relaxed breathing and make you more aware? The key thing we need to remember with this is we need to keep practicing. So even in them moments when you're feeling fine and you're not experiencing any negative emotions, try and practice your relaxed breathing. It will make it much easier for your mind to remember that it needs to do this in those difficult moments when you're having big feelings. Now we're going to think about how the rest of our body feels. I'd like you all to get into a relaxed position. That might be sitting down with your feet firmly on the ground and your hands by your side, or it might be laying down if you feel comfortable to do so. It might be that you ask a grown-up who's with you at home or in school to maybe dim the lights to make the environment feel a little bit more relaxed. Remember what we said about our relaxed breathing. Nice long breaths in through our nose and nice long breath out through our mouth. We're going to continue to practice that slow, deep breathing throughout this exercise. And we're going to work our way all the way from the top of our heads to the tip of our toes and focus on how different parts of our body feel now we're really relaxed. So firstly, if we're comfortable to do so, close our eyes. Long, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it, and long, deep breath out through your mouth. We're going to start off by imagining that there's a bee buzzing around and all of a sudden it lands on your nose. You can't touch the bee, so you've got to try your best to get the bee off your nose by wriggling your muscles in your face. Might be that you need to scrunch your face up a little bit to get that pesky bee away from your nose. Oh, now we imagine that the bee has flown away and we give our face a nice big stretch, noticing how all our different muscles feel in our face as we do it. Now we're going to think about our shoulders and our neck. I want you to pretend that you're a turtle sitting on a nice beach next to a big pond. Uh-oh, you sense danger. You need to keep yourself safe and hide in your shell. Like a turtle, pull your shoulders up to your ears and push your head down into your shoulders as tightly as you can. Hold it tight and still. Do your relaxed breathing. And then relax because the danger has passed. You can come back out of your shell and enjoy the sunshine again. Now we're going to think about our arms. Imagine that you're a furry, lazy cat. Big breath in and stretch your arms in front of you. Lift them up high over your head and stretch as high as you can. Now let your arms drop down by your side. We might need to practice that one again. So stretch your arms out nice and long in front of you. And then lift them above your head as high as you can. And then slowly let your arms drop down by your side. Next, we're going to think about our hands. So stretch your fingers out as wide and as far as you can. And then imagine that you've got hold of half a lemon in each hand. And you need to squeeze out as much juice as you possibly can. Give the lemon a big squeeze and clench your fists as tightly as you can. Now, we're going to focus on our stomach. You want to get into the garden next door, but there's a big fence in the way. You see a tiny gap in the fence, so tuck your tummy in as tightly as you can and imagine that you're shuffling through the fence to get through the gap onto the other side. When you reach the other side, you can release your muscles in your stomach and take a big breath out. Okay, now we're going to practice that again and we're going to come back onto our side of the fence. So long breath in, suck your tummy in as tightly as you can. Shuffle through the hole in the fence. And when you're through onto the other side, big deep breath out and release all those muscles in your stomach. Finally, we've got our legs and our toes. So imagine that you've got bare feet and you've got to pick up a pencil with your toes off the floor. So stretch out your toes nice and long, hover them over the imaginary pencil and imagine that you're picking it up by curling your toes nice and tightly. If you can, lift the pencil up so that you can release your toes and drop it into the palm of your hand. Okay. That's it. Everyone can gradually open their eyes and give their body a big shake. How did that feel? Did people notice some parts of their body were maybe tighter than others? Maybe you held tension and stress in your neck or in your shoulders. Or you noticed a funny feeling in your tummy that you hadn't noticed before. Maybe next time you're feeling mad, sad or worried, you could give that a try and focus all your attention on how your different muscles feel when you're doing your relaxed body exercise. Now, as we're coming to the end of this session, I'd like us all to spend some time thinking about our happy place as a way of relaxing our mind. Your happy place can be based on somewhere real, or it can be based on somewhere completely made up, or it might be a combination of the two. It might be that you're on holiday in the sunshine next to a swimming pool, or you might be riding a unicorn bouncing around from cloud to cloud. I'd like you to close your eyes and start to visualize what your calm, happy place looks like. Think about what you might see whilst you're there, what you might be able to hear. What does it smell like? Are you in your happy place on your own, or are you with somebody else? Now spend a couple of minutes thinking about that place and really pay attention to what happens when you're there. If you're with a grown-up at home, it might be that you like to think about this together and have a conversation and compare what your different happy, calm places are like. Let's take a couple of moments to think about that. You might want to pause the presentation. So how did that make you feel? Did you feel good when you were thinking about somewhere that helps you to feel calm? A lovely add-on that you could do whilst you're at home is maybe draw your happy calm place so you can put it up somewhere special and you can see it in those moments when you need to remember that you're safe and that you're calm. Or it might be that you write a letter to yourself to help you remember it. Doing this will help you relax your mind and will help you manage those big feelings like anger, sadness, frustration or anxiety. Well done everybody. We've reached the end of the session and I hope that you've all found it helpful and you've been able to practice some of those techniques either on your own or with somebody else at home or in school. Remember, the more we practice doing things that help us to keep calm, the easier it's going to be able to do these things when we really need to. So keep practicing relaxing your mind, relaxing your body and relaxing your breathing. Thank you all for listening and thank you for your hard work and I'll see you again soon.